groovy to the music thing. Oh, I got to add us back into the show. Good idea, professional. Welcome to the Sunday Night Hang. I'm Ben. This is brother Aaron from Albus Band. And we're hanging because it's Sunday and it's YouTube and it's my channel. And that's how we roll. That's how we roll. Who do we got? We got 17 people in the chat. That can't be right. 26 people. That seems much better. Got AQ Music, LRM Guitars, Josh Tanberg, Zach Thong, Jason Lindholm, BC Rich 581. Who else do we got here? Brother Symmetry. The Feel Button. Cool. Dan of New Jersey, Hit Metalworks, Zach Thong, John Duchesne, enjoying his new H90 already because he's that guy.
I don't blame him.
I know. No, he's like, first! Yep, you're right. Barring the 1,500 YouTubers other than me that got one sent to them. Keith Campbell, what's up? Cushman NYC's here. Guitar Man 45, he's got one on order. Gear Junkie 35, he's going to wait for the used market. Terry 3Gs, he's not interested in one. No, he passed. He's like, nope, I don't want to be that guy. Thomas Santiago. Oh, wow, my ear is plugged still. Damn it. 2 weeks. Presley's California Customs, Charles 75N, lurking while parking. Excuse me. Says car, I assume he's parking. Who else do we have here? Grudge Zeppelin, Billy Baloney, JP Page 2, Martin Lemaire, Billy Baloney again, Randy Crooks. Zach Thong was in here first because that's how he rolls. Actually, Keith Campbell was in first. He went, spelling error, and I fixed it right away. And then he brought it up again tonight. I'm like, hey, those comments and thumbnail disappeared. It was in the AM when I set it up, okay?
Yeah.
Hey, my knees hurt.
Tis the beauty.
Why does my ear have to be plugged all the time? I tried to clean it today even. It didn't work. Apparently the ear cleaner outer 5000 didn't. Jeff K's here apparently.
Ear cleaner outer 5000. What the hell are you using?
I don't know. It was some kind of spray, but it didn't work.
Well, okay.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to go hardcore and just go for the hydrogen peroxide.
That's what I always do, the hydrogen peroxide. Let it bubble. When it stops bubbling, flush it out. Use the little sucker thingy, like when you're a kid. Put a Q-tip in if it's still a little damp so you don't get any chill in there.
LRM says use vacuum cleaner. Sure. Johnny Heartbreaker. Let's see. Billy Baloney asks, is there any way to play a Les Paul sitting down without it sliding off your knee? Well, yes.
Yeah.
There is. You can play in the classical position, or you have a more balanced one with the modern weight reliefs and such. It's not like the 70s ones that just immediately.
I was going to say, I've never had an issue with a guitar falling off of my leg. Any style of guitar. The only one that I've ever had.
Guitar's perfectly balanced. It should just sit on your leg, right? And not slide one way or the other. Generally, they say fender on the headstock for that to happen. Because that's one thing.
I mean, I grew up playing Les Pauls, and I still have one now. And I've never had them fall off my leg. The only guitar that's ever had difficulty staying on my leg was a V. That's the only one.
Always wear strap, LRM says. Good. Scott Brockway's here. Lawrence Cash is here. We can hear you noodling, Aaron.
Oh, my bad. Oh, there's a microphone. Doy.
Yeah,
I didn't
right
even think of that.
And you're rubbing it all over the hoodie.
I didn't even think of that. I was like, huh.
So yeah, you're doing you're doing the Tom Morello thing. You know, you're playing and there's record scratching going on. Keith says it's great to see Aaron. Of course,
I don't have the kill switch.
Nope. I don't even notice it. I notice it more when they slide off the knee the other way. Christopher Lysalva. The SGs, I don't like it. You know, they slide off that way. They go headstock first. I don't mind if a guitar wants to go ass first. Because that's how I kind of fall. Or I hope to.
I think it's because I have such bony frickin' legs, though. Like, it just sits... Because, I mean, like, even the Reverend here, I mean, this is, like, for all intents and purposes, kind of that vein, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this doesn't go anywhere.
No, they're well balanced. I noticed that. Hey, Daryl.
I mean,
Purple.
this one's slightly headstock heavy, but
I actually have
drastic.
a dent in my right thigh from guitars sitting on my legs over the years for so long. I have a slight dent.
Yeah, I just I don't know. I think like I said, I have such a
It shows how poor my muscle tone is. But,
exactly that. I was like, I'm so freaking bony, and I have chicken legs. It just like plop and stays where it's supposed to.
Let's see. Christopher says, "Seen Doug Blair from Wasp Friday. He tore his Gibson down." Nice.
He tore his Gibson down. What do you?
Keith Campbell says after he folds his laundry, he's going to install his new 42 millimeter block from Effutone. That's 42 mil. That's a big ass block.
Big chunk of block. Effutone's been showing up a lot on the rig rundowns recently. I've seen them in like 2 of the last 5. They were on the Scott Ian one, and they were on the one directly before Scott Ian, whoever the hell that was. They both have Effutone, saddles and springs.
Yeah. Yeah, Scott's been using the stuff for a long time, and he's not like he's a friend with Adam either. Like, because there's a handful of guys that are friends. Like, I think they also do some product testing as well. Like Phil Collin from Def Leppard, they're friends. So
that's the other one. It was Phil Collin. That's who the other one was.
Yeah,
it was Phil Collin. Then it's Scott Ian.
Well, it's because a stock Floyd Rose isn't going to handle you putting like 13s on it and playing with a metal pick. And
well, if I played a Floyd, that would be the way I'd go, without a doubt. I don't play too many trems in general. I mean, Bigsby's, and I mean, I have a Strat.
Yeah, your trems are as much for show as anything else. It's like the guitar came with it. I liked how the guitar played in sound. I left it on there.
Well, I mean, I use them for like overdubs and shit, but I don't use them like live. That's not the kind of music that I play.
No. Plus, you like to stay in tune. And you can be a little heavy-handed at times, so you don't need extra reasons for it to not stay in tune. Squire Telecaster.
Anybody that saw the end of the video where we played Nirvana's radio-friendly unit shifter, I was going nuts on that new Chapman, and it just took it like a champ and asked for some more. I was like, oh, thank you for Stop Tails.
That sounds familiar. Once I put the neck shim in the Mexican, I'm like, is she still going to play like she did before?
Yeah, she will.
Wrote a new tune on her even.
Yeah.
Remember it. I should have recorded it. It was really good too.
I love, string throughs, stop tails. I even like wraps are nice. I like, wrap the tailpiece is cool too. I dig those. I do better with Bigsby's than I do with like Strat trem. And then my favorite trem is actually like a Mastery, but again, I don't play a Jazzmaster enough, and certainly not live.
I knew I forgot to do it a couple of times, but this one has top wrap.
There you go.
Yeah. It's nice on the palm. It's a nice palm rest.
Yeah. That's the one thing I don't like about the Strat. I've never liked about the Strat.
Yeah, I know, John, but the problem was the phone was in the other room. And lifestyle choices.
What is he talking about?
I was pissed off enough I forgot my vape in the other room. So, Adam, PRS trims are pretty nice. I want one of those Duesenberg trims that replaces the tailpiece. And that's it.
That's different from the Vega trim, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, the Doozy trim basically, get rid of the tailpiece on a Lester Paulfus shaped object. Okay. And it's a wiggle stick incorporated. I don't know if it wiggles the whole tailpiece or what it does, but
nice.
It does something.
Isn't the Vega trim like just a spring that attaches on with an arm and does something similar?
I don't know. I have to look into that.
Yeah, I know that there are plenty of people that enjoy that trem as well. I still like the Mastery on it. Like if I was going to use a trem every night, it would either be a Bigsby or a Mastery Jazzmaster.
Literally the 2 least stable trems ever developed in the world, and that's why I love you.
Yeah, they're the two that I get along with the
It's
best.
like me with my DoD Octoplus. You're like, that's the worst tracking octave ever made. I'm like, yep, and that's what makes it perfect.
It's like monophonic and drunk, so it's like delayed and then it's off pitch.
Yeah, like Scott Brockway just picked one up, and he mentioned it in Steve from Boston's chat last night. He's like, "Oh, I got it working." I'm like, "How does it track?" And he's like, "Perfect." I'm like, "Play more than one note." He goes, "Oh, you can't do that." I'm like,
No,
exactly.
it's monophonic. It's not polyphonic. Monophonic
That's
means
what's awesome about it. Nothing
one.
better than strumming a chord with that thing because it just tries to pick a note, and it's almost like having one of those step things going on.
An arpeggiator?
Yeah, that's it. I don't know. It's a digital box that I can't use. Daryl wants to try one of those doozies as well. Let's see. BC Rich says, year 2 of my Vega Trim sitting on my bench awaiting installation.
Hey,
you know, I got a B-bender like that.
You're about as up to speed as I am on getting the interface and, and stuff set up in here. I told Ben midweek, I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to go pick up an interface and have the whole setup.
I got my interface out of the box. Now it's dusty.
I told him I was going to, for this this hang, I think I'll have the full setup. And then I called him and I went, hey, did you know today was Friday? And he's like, yep. And I'm like, I'm not going to get that thing set up. I'm not going anywhere. Going home, going to bed.
Mark asks, are Floyds still a thing? Want a Wilkinson for my Strat? Yes. They're not to the point where everybody's carving up non-Floyd guitars to install them on them. But yes, they're still selling a shit ton of Ibanez's with 24 frets and floating locking trems.
Yeah, but those aren't Floyds, are they? Those are like Edge
Floyds,
Pros.
but they're
Same damn thing.
Same concept.
Yeah.
And then you have like all the EVH stuff. They all got the wiggle sticks except for the ones I own because I don't need that. I got one. I got a guitar with a wiggle stick already. I don't need any more.
Yeah, you got a Kramer with a Floyd, right?
I do. All FU toned out.
There you go.
Yeah, because just in case, if you got to grab that gun out of the arsenal, it's full caliber. It's all of it.
I wonder how many times you have to grab that gun out of the artillery.
Not as much since I stopped gigging, surprisingly.
No,
and you think it'd be the other way around since I had zero use for it while gigging.
Well, I would think
it was purely Richie's like, I'm bringing my Ibanez jazz box. I'm like, I'm playing a Kramer then.
Ridiculous. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's the polar opposite.
That's funny.
Same as if he's like, I'm going to play a Telly. I'm like, I'll play a Les Paul. Or he was I'm bringing a Strat. I'm bringing a Mockingbird.
That is hilarious. Yeah, I was gonna say now that you haven't gigged in like 3 years.
I have not played a gig
since 4 years. 2019.
Well, the last time was a sub gig, and that would have been like October, November of 19, when I subbed in on bass for a band.
So 3 years, yeah.
Yeah.
But the last time you were playing routinely with the Hunter Badger stuff, that was what, 2019 too, right?
Yep.
The beginning of 2019.
April of 2019, we split up.
Yeah, so I was going to say, it's been 3.5 years if you go back to when you were routinely gigging.
Yeah. Well, we'll see about that.
Did you end up
for the holiday season? What's that?
Did you end up jamming?
No, apparently everybody that I know around here went to the Offspring concert last night. Like, everybody I know. I'm like, well, that's why I didn't get the call, because you went to the Offspring show last night.
That'll do it.
Let's see here. Jason Lindholm has the only Kramer in existence with a rail tail. Randy Crooks asks, for the holiday season, what gear is on the wish list?
Oh, man. Christ.
I don't know if there's anything I really need. I keep trying to forget about Aaron's phaser.
That's the problem, is I constantly go with that whole need versus want thing. Like, dude, I have everything I could ever frickin' need several times.
A competent drummer. That's what I would like for Christmas, Aaron. A competent drummer, and then I can really start doing stuff.
Good luck. Mine's not for sale.
Guitar Man 45 says that'll change next year.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of things that like. I mean, I look every day, multiple times a day, and then there's even been times in the last week where I put things in the old basket, the old cart, and then
Yeah.
I've gone to checkout, and when you see it go up for shipping and tax, you go, shit, I really don't
See,
need that.
like I just finally that board is more or less complete. I guess a flanger of some kind.
That's one of the things I keep looking at. I keep
But
wanting because the best flanger I've ever played is the camouflage, the Thorpe camouflage.
yeah, that's up there.
The only
or
reason I
like
haven't bought it is
a mistress, and be done with it.
the only reason I haven't bought the camouflage is every time I see one, I'm like, oh, I should get it. That's a good deal to use. I can get it for like $230, and then in my head, I'm like, am I really gonna play flanger enough to justify $230 on a flanger?
No, you're going to use it 3 times a night tops.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I already have like my favorite chorus pedal that has the Havoc switch live.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I don't even know why I want a flanger. I used one for one pre-chorus of one song in one band.
Yeah, I don't know.
Keith, actually, I own a few. Well, do I still own a few? I know I own one. There's a Boss flanger up there.
Yeah, gas.
Oh yeah, and I got a DoD one.
Gas is such an interesting thing because it's like, if I really stop and look at myself, I go, okay, I've got a live board. I've got in this room, I have 11 electric guitars. I pretty much take a Chapman and a Reverend to every live gig. I have 2 Chapmans, 2 Reverends. I really could just go with those 4 guitars and the live board and be totally good. But I still look every freaking day, multiple times a day. In the other room, I've got the Monster board. I only use that for recording. I don't even take that live.
Exactly. I don't know. Yeah, at this point. And that's saying having a phaser and a flanger is mandatory even if you never use it. That's true. Although I can get into flange territory when I blend a phaser and a chorus together, I find. It can get into flange territory, at least the way I set my flanges. So I do want an MXR flanger. That's probably maybe.
The best thing about...
Let's go with that. I'll go for an MXR flanger in the new year. That's going to be my want for 2023.
The best thing about Caroline Guitar Company products, because I use the Somersault chorus, is that all his pedals have the Havoc switch, which causes some chaos, as you'd imagine, with a name like Havoc. And
yeah, because I need to know that in my life, Aaron. Now I got to get new pedals. Thanks.
Well, the chorus is great because you can set your nice lush chorus and use that, and then you can hold down the Havoc switch, and it literally just maxes out the rate. Right. And it sounds like
fuck that. I don't want that.
Sounds insane. So I use that all the time.
Yeah, my rate never goes above the 10 o'clock position anyway, so that's...
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if you're like, oh, I'd have a rotary, but I don't use it that often. Well, you could make a faux rotary.
What was I getting a rotary sound out of the other day? What the hell was that?
The other interesting thing is you have an HX.
Oh, it's my 345. Because it being only a 2-stage and it's out front, it was doing that nice kind of vibey tremolo thing as much as anything else.
Well, you have an HX Stomp. Realistically, you could do all of that stuff in there.
Digital.
And you wonder why a company like Eventide didn't send you an H90. Yeah, we're going to send the guy that says digital, the $900 pedal. Yeah.
Win me over, Eventide. Win me over. Line 6 tried. Actually, stop. I like the amp sims as much as anything else in that thing. Hey, Mad Raj.
I could see Eventide being like, you can have this for 3 days, and then you have to send it back.
Yeah. They're like, so what'd you think? I'm like, I only got to page 32 of the manual.
That's the other thing is, even though, I watched a bunch of videos on it because I was like, oh, wow, let's see what they fixed. And they fixed pretty much everything that, like, people have been complaining about.
Well, for what people want it for, I'm like, I don't need it for modulation because, I'm not into that. And I just plopped down on a Hydra and a Halo in the last 6 months. I'm good on the back end of my tone chain. What's up, Superfan Gary Davlin?
Well, and you've got 9 million overdrives, so really you're good on all of your chain.
That answers Keith Campbell's question. What pedal type do you own the most of? Fuzz, OD, etc.? You're like, well, you got 1 million overdrives.
He does.
They're the most well, technically, I'm going to say Fuzz is the most, because it seems like everybody builds their first pedal as a Fuzz that hits the market.
Could be, yeah. I'd believe that.
So I would say, even though there's a shit ton of Klon clones and Tube Screamer clones, I'd say for every one of those, there's easily a Fuzz face and a Muff clone. You know.
What's interesting, though, is...
What's up, Mr. Anderson?
How many LPD pedals do you have?
I don't know. 16?
I was going to say, if you had to guess, I was going to say 12, so 16's hilarious. You with LPD is similar to me with Earthquaker devices.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's right, he doesn't do the back end of that. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, 19, 20. Oh, shit.
I have, what do I have, 4?
I'm literally surrounded around by them.
I have 3 or 4 LPDs. I've got a Vermin, a Boost, and
you have more than 8, Guitar Man. I guarantee you have more than 8. You bought 8 this year.
I have 3 LPDs. Yeah, I have 3. And then the funny thing is it's like Earthquaker. The other day, somebody asked me this at work, and if you count pedals that I've had and then pedals that I've had multiple times, I think I'm at. You count pedals that I have, pedals that I've had, and pedals that I've had multiple times, I'm at like 42 Earthquaker pedals. I'm like, right
apparently,
now,
it's Christopher Live Silva's birthday. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Also, happy birthday to Charles Green. I believe it's his birthday today as well.
Oh, Charles Green. That dude's got some stories.
Yep. He has all the stories.
He's got all of them.
Zach says he's not a big pedal guy himself. I just let my fingers do the work for me.
You can do both.
If you have talent, Zach, you can do that. But some of us need the crutches.
Yeah, you can do both, though. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
The only EQD pedal I own is a busted chorus. I'm going to assume that's a C machine. I've got one in my closet there. They fix all their stuff. They have lifetime warranties on them. You could send it in and get it fixed.
Aren't they in Ohio? They're in Akron, aren't they?
No, Akron, Ohio. Yep.
All right. Well, how close is that to Cleveland? Not that far.
Not far.
Well, Billy, you could probably drop it off. Just saying. Earthquaker, I have 1 on my board.
You have a Rainbow Machine.
I do. And nobody else does anything like the Rainbow Machine. Therefore, it's on my board. What's up, Tony?
I was like, off the top of my head, the live board has an organizer, a hoof. The big board has a Rainbow Machine.
I almost got their, whatchamacallit, chorus. No, phaser.
Oh, it's my favorite phaser, the Grand Orbiter.
Yeah, but it's not stereo, I don't think.
No, it is not.
No, so I don't.
I've
got mono phasers coming out my ass. And
yeah, that phaser is so good, though. That and the Native Audio Midnight are my 2 favorite phasers. That's what I was telling you, like, I don't need to mess with a good thing, but every time I look at the live board, I'm like, oh, well, I could, instead of having 2 separate
according to Billy, they're 20 minutes away. See,
there you go.
Good thing they're not 20 minutes away from me, because they'd be here. Hey, does a fella got any pedals they need demoed?
Are you kidding me? You'd be going, knock, 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 knock. Can I work part-time? They'd be like, yeah, okay, cool.
But just part-time. Can't
yeah.
do full-time. Yeah. What? Okay, we need someone to build pedals. That's not an option. You need to put me in marketing or sweeping floors.
You could be the guy that makes the boxes that they eventually put the pedals in.
I can make boxes.
I know you can.
Will not be soldering.
No, most of their stuff now is
So Ben, you've completed 2/3 of a pedal today.
Well, because they've got like the bath. You know what I mean? Like solders everything. They have a bunch of cool walkthroughs of their shop up online.
That would be handy.
Yeah, boy.
Maybe I could paint housings.
They have people whose sole job is to test everything. You sit there with the guitar and make sure that every knob works.
See, now that I could do, because I've been known to twist a few knobs in my lifetime.
Hey man, you have indeed.
Excuse me. Keith Campbell says Phase 90 flange chorus tuner. Nothing else needed in my world. And let me guess.
It's a
Keith,
lot of modulation.
Each of those pedals, possibly including the tuner, are all striped, aren't they?
Oh,
You have a striped Phase 90. You have a striped flanger.
He may, in fact, have a striped guitar.
Ben is head of soldering and seared flesh. Yeah.
Ben's soldering is more like paint by solder. Yeah. I mean, I literally watched him on camera the one time go like this. And I was like, what the hell is he doing? I was like, Jesus.
Keith says not the tuner. Let's see here. Unbelievable says Phase 95. Yep, got one of them on my board.
That was one of my favorite videos ever with you, though. Like when you're like, come on, you can do it. Come on, just get off. You know you want to. And I'm like, what? I'm like, all right, Van Gogh over here with his solder. I was like, what is going on?
I never cheap out on the solder.
No, it cracks me.
But
I was going to say, I also love how you then look at your work and you go, oh, it's not pretty, but it works. We're done with that. You just like push it to the side gently to make sure it doesn't like come undone.
That's factory.
I love that.
Let's see here. Philip says, damn, guys, I need to switch some pickups in a casino and effing soldering. Yep. Effing F-holes in soldering.
I was going to say, I love soldering. I think that I mean, it's definitely a talent, but I love soldering, but I hate pulling stuff out of F-holes. I mean, there's a bunch of cool tricks you can do. There's the tube trick. You can do the string trick.
Dental floss.
Yep. Well, string, dental floss, same damn thing, yeah. But the rubber tubing.
I prefer the dental floss because then it leaves the interior of your guitar minty fresh.
Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah. The tube trick works good because it actually goes over the post of the pot.
Yeah.
But then if that pops off,
I didn't cave in one side of the damn shaft.
If it pops off, then you're holding a tube and it's inside the body, and you're like, son of a.
That's me. Let's see. Lawrence says, I love the Hoof Reaper. I'm still trying to find a use for the plumes. I find it works good as a paperweight or a doorstop.
It's a frickin' tube screamer, and I don't like tube screamers, so.
Yeah. Nice drive, eh? Yeah, I have in place of where the plumes was.
If I was gonna do anything tube screamer-esque, I'd go back and own a Palisades again, because that has like the drive, a boost, another voice, and it's got like the voice switch. So it's like basically it's the tube. It starts off as a tube screamer, and then you just jack it away from a tube screamer, and it's no longer a tube screamer. There's
been a few that I've kind of liked. Let's see. Mark Steven Severson. Yes. When it comes to fuzz pedals, it gets blurry. Use the amp. Sure. Just push the bejesus out of it. John DeShane reports in he needs a rotary, univibe, all the delays, and all the reverbs. Okay. Well, there's a lot of really good. Well, you got the H90. That's going to cover some territory.
I was going to say that'll cover your rotary for sure. I mean, they have an excellent rotary algorithm.
Billy Baloney wants a Mutron biphase, but they cost all the money. They are. Scott, you are right. I am the red green of soldering. Michael Krause says new Caroline phaser / vibrato pedal. I saw that. That was on my possible list.
I didn't hear that. What was that one?
Caroline phaser / vibrato.
Yeah, the Arigato.
Yeah, the problem is it's one of those two pedals, and I've never found one that I liked.
It's not two pedals, trust me. It's when he's saying it's a phaser, and then the Havoc switch puts it in the like realm of the other.
See, that's better. But you know what I mean? When it's a chorus / vibrato, nope, not interested. It's going to be subpar on both ends. I say pick a lane.
Well, with a chorus vibrato, it shouldn't be because all you're doing is taking out the dry signal. Literally, it should be the same thing.
Soldering's easy if you have a hot tip, flux, and steady hands, right, Ben? Yep. 2 out of 3.
Steady hands is the problem.
2 out of 3 most days. Mark Taft is here. What's up, brother Mark? Philip says the Palisades is spectacular. Regret selling mine. Sure.
Remember, if it can't be soldered, it can always be duct taped. Ben Coombs.
Unbelievable says no need for a tube screamer. I have the numbers. Yeah, but that's more of a clone. but still mid-humpy.
I
Same
was going
thing.
to say mid-forward. That does the job. Yep. I prefer a clon all day, every day.
Yep, I'm the same way. Scott Brockway likes the Hughes and Kettner tube rotosphere.
Oh, that thing's fantastic. It's also expensive and huge, and it runs on weird power, if I remember. But it is fantastic. It was developed by old Thomas Blug.
I was looking at the Julia as well, John Shea, or the Juliana, actually, not the Julia.
Yeah,
because
you wanted stereo, so you asked me if it was any good, and I was like, hell yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Wasn't totally sold on it. I like the idea. I like the circuitry. I didn't actually like the chorus in the box, though. It wasn't the chorus for me.
Hey, you got to figure out what kind of chorus you want.
Yeah. Well, right now, the MXR stereo chorus has a certain similar grit that like a Phase 90 does. It incorporates just a touch underneath that I like. Well, it's always a good idea to tune in, Mark. It's always a fun hang. One would think that certain lifestyle choices would give a fella a steady hand. You would think, but they would be worse if I didn't. And it's much carpal tunnel, too, because it's when I turn in my wrist to solder and be precision-like.
Has anyone tried the, what are they calling it? The Ducatone?
Adderall?
No, well, yeah, sure.
That might work. Ben solders on Adderall. Look at this. Ding, ding, ding. Wow, it looks like something Lawrence would do. All right. We figured it out.
No, the Ducatone. Has anyone tried that yet?
Good question. Anybody tried that?
I imagined that would be incredibly popular. And I watched the interview where Mike talked about
Philip, I agree. The C2 that's my sound growing up too, because that's what I used. I still have one, but I'd rather not have it on my board. And that thing, it's been dropped a lot, so I don't trust it.
I was going to say, the good thing is you haven't been going anywhere, so you could use it at home.
Well, I could, except it's fallen off like shelves up this high onto the hard floor about 6 times since I moved in. So I'm not sure if it works at all at this point. John says no clones for me, blues breaker circuit for me. That's what I was using. I was using the LPD Lucent into the VHT the other day. I was digging that. It's pretty MIDI though. Terry was asking about a pedal today. The Sweet Tea, the JHS Sweet Tea.
Yeah, he was asking about that. He messaged me. I literally just saw it before I logged on here, and the last thing he said was, Ben finally responded. And I'm like, oh, good, because I just...
Well, Ben was in the shower when Terry messaged me, and so you got to wait.
Yeah. My whole week has been like... Because I had the kids Monday and Tuesday.
You're lucky you know what day it is.
Dude, I told you on Wednesday I started to bring the garbage cans down, and then I was like, why do I feel like I have deja vu? And I was like, oh, I did this 2 days ago, but that doesn't make any sense because today's Monday. And it was like, no, today's Wednesday.
What's up, Steve Anderson? Hey, in Ben's World. He says JHS equals hype.
It depends on the pedal. Some of their pedals are really, really good.
I'd like to like more JHS pedals. It's just some circuits just don't agree with me. I gotta sit down with some other ones though.
Well, that's the whole point of all pedals. You know, there's a bunch of companies that I love the people that make them, but then I play their stuff and I'm like, this is good, but it's not the sound I'm going for, or it's not the feel that I'm, looking for. I mean, there are companies I could totally use everything that they make. I could use all the drive, all the fuzz, and the one delay pedal that Greer makes. Everything by Greer, I've always loved Greer stuff.
That's the thing. I don't know if most companies do everything I need, though. You know what I mean? Because a lot of them don't cover full pedal board range.
See, Earthquaker Devices covers everything, and I could easily have an entire insane board just of Earthquaker Devices pedals.
Ben asks, favorite overdrive pedal right now? Both. Go.
Lightspeed.
I'll stick with my LPD Umbers.
It's either Lightspeed or if you consider, I'll consider it an overdrive because it does everything. The Hudson Broadcast.
I was looking at some Hudson stuff the other night. Friday night. when Marty from Motor City Guitars was on Tone Talk. So I was perusing the website because he's like, we have over 1,000 pedals in stock. I'm like, I'm listening. Because they have a 50-foot display case full of pedals.
Dude,
I'm
there's
like,
so many drive pedals that I like. Like for Fuzz, I like anything by Xander Circuitry. God, I love the 385 by Walrus. I love
you enjoy that, Steve Anderson. That's what I'm going to say. He says, I'm going to hate this 1 week till World Cup of Soccer begins, and I have 3 weeks off to watch it. No, you enjoy that. Canada in the World Cup for the first time in like...
Nick KB, what's up, dude?
What's up, Nick? Broadcast is rad as fuck, Ben says. Yo, Hudson Broadcast is a nice one.
Yeah, the big board has a broadcast, a Mjolnir.
I was using a Lucent the other day. That was working well, but that's kind of an amp in a box in a way as much as anything else. So, I don't know. I should get a Hudson Broadcast at some point, though.
Live, I've been using a JHS Twin 12 as my always on the clean setting with the drive around 2 o'clock. And then I stack when I need to get dirty. I kick on the Walrus 385. And then fuzz wise, I'll either have a hoof or I have a fuzz bender from Keeley. Or I know I'm gonna end up doing it just because it's my favorite fuzz pedal. My favorite fuzz pedal is the Xander Circuitry Foxton Woods. And I should get the new one so I have one on both boards.
They don't make my favorite one anymore.
What's that?
The Carolina Reaper.
Oh, I know, but you can find it used.
Yeah. Or I know a guy that might be able to build a one-off.
True.
We do know a guy. Or the guy.
Yeah.
Jason Lindholm asks, what is a good wah pedal needing to replace mine?
Depends on how much money you want to spend. I mean, if you want to go for all the marbles, you could do something like the Jam Wacko. I think is how you're supposed to say it. But that thing's expensive.
Is it Mission Audio?
Mission Engineering, yeah, they do a good job.
They have a good one. Friedman has a good one.
Friedman has an excellent wah, yeah.
I've always just liked the regular Crybaby. I'm not fancy that way. I did see some stuff in here. Let's see here. Floop-de-doo. What's up, my friend? He says, I didn't gel with Morning Glory, so I sold it, but I love the Bonsai so much that I sold all my Tube Screamer pedals. Sure. Makes sense.
So he likes the Tube Screamer circuit more than the Blue Breaker circuit. He likes the fuzz
from his Keeley Dark Side. Sure. That's a good one. Oh. Charles reports in, made the mistake of playing a Martin D15 today. Now I have a problem. Playing Martins will do that to you, Charles. You got to be careful when you pick up a Martin. They're hard to put down.
I mean, you know, it's funny that he brought that you just brought up Martin, because that is the acoustic brand that has always resonated most with me. Like Taylor, I can look at and say, yes, they make nice guitars, but they're always too bright to me. Taylor is for me like Paul Reed Smith is for me with electric guitars. I don't have a bad thing to say about them at all. They're built incredibly well. They're beautiful. They just always sound so damn bright in my hands.
Sure.
That's why I've never owned a PRS. And I've never owned a
soundtrack of all acoustic I heard growing up, you know, whether it be on albums or at home.
And a lot of the the older, I don't know how the newer ones are because I don't buy any of their new stuff, but the old Gibson, like big body acoustics, are fantastic too.
Yeah, but more mid-scoop sounding, but it's still very nice. Daryl B comments, spent way too much on a pedal a couple of weeks ago. Ocean's 11, love it, but too much damn money. They're getting up there. That's true. Stephen Douglas, welcome. John loves a Martin. Morley does have some good wahs. Yep. Somebody said they're not. Oh, Philip Ashby says, I'm not fancy, so I just use an H9 auto wah. Sure.
You can totally do that. Why not?
Yeah.
I don't use wah.
Well, yeah, for a long time, you can pick up a used wah, $100 for a used Crybaby. And they're just as good used half the time because you got to break them in.
America a lot cheaper than that. Is he American or Canadian?
Canadian.
Oh, well then, yeah, you'd know the pricing for that.
I played a
They're
Martin
not that much here.
20 years ago in a haunt space to this day. Best tone I've ever heard. Yeah. The one Taylor that haunts me was all Koa top, sides, back, everything, all the Koa, and that thing was on sale for $7,000 Canadian. Mark Taft knows what I'm talking about. That thing played great. Look out, Captain Sexy himself, Chief Bottle Washer and Rabble Rouser over at the Under the Bus Network on Wednesday nights. Boner Jams himself. What time are we busting out the 7 strings? I hope everyone is having a great weekend. Now that's something I don't own. I do not own.
I do not imagine, Captain, I don't want any frets to get along with the width of a 7-string.
Well, that's one of the issues, but I was thinking there's a lot more 7 strings available on the market than baritones on the used market.
Yeah, I'd just wait and get a baritone.
And I can just look at it as a baritone with a extra high string on it.
I think you'd do better with baritone.
Yeah. Well, there was one 7-string I could play. And that was JJ's. But that's like a freaking OG Universe or something like that. So
yeah, I mean, dude, there's such good guitar. I mean, you can get a Squire. It's their Telecaster, baritone Telecaster with P90s for like, $300 or $400 US. Like, if you want a baritone, just do that.
All right. Oh, Stephen Douglas, need a recommendation. How to get more sustain from an edge of breakup tone from an XTC Blue into a Landau DeVille other than a compressor.
What does he have running? Hold up, let me read this. How to get more sustain from an edge of breakup tone from an XTC Blue into a Landau DeVille other than a compressor. Turn up the presence a little bit on his amp.
Yeah. Beyond that, I don't know, add a little more delay or reverb. It's not the same.
Yeah, it's gonna
pull that.
It's gonna
back
widen
into the
it,
note.
but I don't know that it's gonna add to the sustain as much.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, a little more gain on the pedal, a little more presence on the amp.
Cool, Mark.
Hit the note a little harder that you're trying to sustain. Oh yeah, Josh, absolutely. Those are.
You know what? Yeah, the Presence ID says it runs up pretty low. Double check your pickup height. You may be able to find some sustain with the pickup height, because if they're too high or too low, you won't get full use. Josh says Chapman standard baritone.
Yep, absolutely.
That would work for Aaron.
They're just harder to get a hold of because they're not everywhere. So it's like
especially in Canada. There's still way more in the US than in Canada because we never had a Chapman distributor in Canada.
Yeah, because I don't think they got picked up
other than Cosmo.
McQuaid, did they?
No, just Cosmo. They're the only place. So there is a portal for them, but unless you're special ordering, you're up to whatever they happen to carry, which I think they carry just like 2 or 3 just so they have technically in stock. I do not want to know what an H90 costs in Canada. I'd hate to think.
I think I heard it's like $800 or $900 new in the US.
Oh,
so it's like it's essentially I was like, it's essentially the cost of like a Chase Bliss CXM 1978.
Or a computer. You run the pickups quite high. We'll try that. Yeah.
Hey, RJ.
What's up, RJ?
What's up?
Jason Lindholm was asking what Chapman you playing there, bro.
This is my favorite guitar of all time. This guitar is magic. It rings like a son of a bitch. It's like a bell. This doesn't exist anymore, but this was the original ML3 semi-hollow pro traditional. This one was when they first signed on with Guitar Center, so that was like, I don't know, 2019 or 2020, something like that.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I want to check out RJ Ronquillo's channel if you haven't already.
For sure.
Coffee time with RJ every Saturday morning, as well as demos pretty much every day of the week, sometimes 2 on one day.
And
And
I've been playing that and this.
He has a contest going on, Aaron. I don't know if you noticed that, for the V3 string butler. I entered.
I did not. I did not enter. What do I have to do? Send him naked pics again?
Again, yeah. Yeah.
Well, he kept up his end of the promise. He never posted those, so I guess we're good.
Yeah, well, they're for personal use only. Thank you, Aaron, for posting links to Aaron's stuff in the chat. Everyone should check out. Aaron's mostly on Instagram, but he does some YouTube stuff as well because he knows me and he knows I yell at him if he doesn't post content within a certain time frame. But it's vlogs and this and that. Hey, RJ put a link to his channel there. Awesome. Unbelievable. Thank you. He says, when will Boner Jams break out the duct tape, dental tape, shaving cream, and a 7-string, asking for a friend? Also still looking at the famous Devin Townsend Stormbender, now at $8.99. Pull that trigger?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, just in case someone's putting their kid down to sleep, we're going to take a photo of that, and then we can send that to him.
Amazing.
Yeah. Billy Baloney comments, that's a good question, though, unbelievable. Well, thank you. Billy Baloney says, RJ got to play with one of my heroes, Todd Rundgren. Yes, last Saturday. Doing the
RJ
Bowie
also,
tribute.
Carter Vintage put out a video of an early Les Paul Jr. Yeah, and 61. RJ is the one playing that. Oh. That RJ Ronquillo is so damn talented.
Yeah, I enjoyed that demo. I was like, ooh. Yep.
Yeah,
RJ's awesome. Close to me. And Trev, that's right. Yeah, Devin's out in BC. There. Mad Raj says, want Gray Sustain, do a full foil job on your guitar and wrap wax potted pickups. I have the videos to prove it. There we are. Hey, Dustin. Good to see you. PRS is unfriendly to Southpaws. Well, as Paul has said before, Aaron, they don't make left-handed pianos.
That's true. 61 LP Jr. It's a nice one. Somebody better buy it before I do.
Yeah.
You heard it first. If you buy it, you'll have the satisfaction of knowing you bought it before RJ could.
This is true.
Even if you never play it, you can put it on your wall. Take a picture next to it.
I will say, if you happen to go to RJ's Reverb store and see a bunch of pedals up for sale, it might already be on layaway at Carter's.
I bought something off RJ once. I bought the Native Audio Ghost Ridge reverb pedal, which I used all over the EP that is almost done being mixed.
Speaking of which, yeah, we should talk about that. The EP, Boner Jams. Did you see the super chat directed at you? You had a question asked by a super chat.
It was a doozy.
It was a good one. Yeah, so my understanding is the album, let's say it's 92% done. No,
I'd say 95%. I'd go as high 95. As that.
95.
Yeah, I've spent the last week listening to the initial final mixes, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only a couple of little tweaks that got to happen, a couple of spots where, you know, like when the guitar kicks back in dirty, you want it to punch you in the face, so maybe that's got to go up a smidge and stuff like that. A couple of parts where
Boner Jams just read the super chat.
Oh, of course he did. couple of little spots where maybe I did 3 or 4 different octaves of vocals. You want it blended a little more to where it sounds like one voice rather than like a crew vocal.
I also want to say before I forget yet again, lifestyle choices. And Boner James reminded me. I haven't heard anything as of Wednesday, Boner, but for those who pray, definitely pray. And those who send out positive vibes, definitely send out positive vibes for the Hannon family, and specifically Ellie Vi Hannon. She's in the hospital. And Jay being one of the co-hosts of Under the Bus Network. I've known Jay through the virtual world for the better part of 5 years now. And yeah, they're going through some stuff. So let's send out some positive vibes for Ellie. And yes.
Absolutely.
And I hope she's already on the mend and still sending positive vibes.
Lawrence asked if I got the PT100 plugin. I have never made the move to the digital realm. Everything I have is still the old-fashioned pedal board, amp, microphone,
What's up, Mayhem?
etc. I'm not against
Awesome,
it.
folks.
I haven't done it.
So yes, on that note, I didn't want to bring that down too much, but I thought of that. I wanted to say it. I mentioned it in my video that came out Friday. Wanted to say it again. So
absolutely,
yes. So yeah, I haven't heard any snippets from the album yet, but would I have heard any of that stuff in any of the live clips from the last show?
Yeah, we've been. That's the thing I'm happy, probably the most happy about. You know how normally you write songs, you record them, you put them out there, and you're like, I hope that everybody likes these because we like them. You know, we've been playing.
Thank you, Boner Jam, for the update. One day at a time with Ellie.
We've been playing this entire EP pretty much the last 4 or 5 shows.
Michael Krause. No digital? A heretic. Yay, one of us. Yeah.
But not on pedals. You know, I do digital pedals all the time. So
yeah, but as long as they look analog, we're happy.
As long as it's a pedal and not a computer.
Yeah. If there's the key is, Aaron, no LCD display of any kind.
I don't think any of mine
just
has.
knobs and LEDs. That's it.
Source Audio Nemesis, Source Audio Ventress. Neither of those have displays. No, I don't think any of mine have LCDs.
Nope.
Do not think so.
I don't need any screens on my pedal board.
We've been playing these.
There's
5
a screen
songs.
on my pedal board. It's because it fell out of the pipe.
Oh, there you go. For the last year, so basically for the last, probably for the better part of the last year, we've been playing these 5 songs and then mixing in some older ones and stuff like that. So a lot of the people that have
Michael Chris, exactly. If you step on it, it's okay. Exactly.
It's nice though because like we've been playing them and people know the words already, so it's going to be cool because when it comes out, people will already.
I you know me, I'm terrible with lyrics. That's why I was like, I don't know. I like it. It grooves. I don't know if I've heard this before or not because lifestyle choices.
Yeah,
but I'm like,
you've heard them.
Sounds like Albus. So they're
yeah.
keeping on. Hey, Robert Ranford, Mad Dog's here as well.
Yep. So I'm excited because that's pretty close. And the artwork's being done now, and then we will have...
I am not doing the artwork, folks.
No, you're not. No. The first run of T-shirts will be right after that.
I need one of those.
As well as we will be shooting the first video once we can agree on what the first song should be.
Yep. Yeah,
I think it's down to about two songs that we are...
Well, I can be the deciding factor.
You totally can be the deciding factor. I have an opinion,
and I'm never afraid to share it.
This is true, but you're also the guy that hates singles, so I don't know if you're the one I want picking.
Well, because I'd be like either, I could get sick of that in a month, or nope, I can't get sick of that.
Or you
maybe I'd like singles more if bands let me pick their singles.
Maybe. I don't know.
But then again, no band would ever be famous because they're like, that's the last cut on the album.
I was going to say, I'm driving with you to Nashville. Anytime you picked like anything that anybody knew, he's like, nope. Pick this one. And I'm like, that's not a song. And he's like, yes, it is. And then he finds it and puts it on. And I'm like, it is a song. I can see why it wasn't a single, but it is a song.
Yeah. Dustin's like me. He hates singles too.
I think it depends.
Touring. We were talking about touring the other day.
It'll probably go more along the Weekend Warrior type stuff, but it'll be more like maybe one weekend we do. The nice thing is where we're located, we can get to Indianapolis in 3 hours, Louisville in 4 hours. I can get to Nashville in 6.5, 7 hours. So it's like,
well, he's in the Cleveland area.
Oh, I can go straight 80 east and get over there in 5 hours.
And this is the thing, and we have the YouTube community, which can help when it comes to logistics and touring. Like, hey, you need a driveway to park in, or
more like, hey, I need a floor.
When you have show dates, we will announce them on here so people can come and check out the band.
It'll be a lot more
all
like,
your
hey,
friends and family. Bring all the people.
So yeah, we'll do
Nope.
stuff like that. Scotty Fox, what's that guy saying? First of all, anyone who hasn't listened to Albus, do yourself a favor and start today. Second, Aaron, what was that Charger 290? I'm buying one any day here. Oh, Scott
What's up,
Fox,
Scott?
for the record, he works with me, and he's come
Well,
to the
please
last.
subscribe to the channel, Scott. It helps
He's
if you haven't already.
he's been at the last 2 shows, and I guess he was pretty impressed because he came back for that last one. And Scott's a hell of a drummer. A hell of a drummer. This is 2022 double agent in silver metallic frost with the rosewood fretboard.
There you go. Billy reports in the Grog Shop in Cleveland would be a great venue for you.
We could do. So that's the next steps.
Joe Albus says if you make it to Providence, Rhode Island, he's got a driveway for you to park in.
Hey, as long as I can sleep in that driveway, you've got yourself a deal. So,
Oh,
no, I mean,
speaking of which, since Charles is in here, Charles, my friend, are you available Wednesday evening for a Zoom hang for our patrons and channel members? That would be at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central for you, Charles. Are you available Wednesday at 6? Let us know. Just thought of that. Again, Aaron knows. See, yes. All right, so we're going to do a Zoom. Breaking news. We're going to do a Zoom hang this Wednesday for channel members. If you're not already, click the join button. Become a member. It's if you've ever seen the group hangs on the shows on Sunday night, it's like that, but double the amount of people, and we show off gear and we talk about gear and we solve all of life's problems and create a few new ones while we're at it. So apparently Trev's excited.
Joel
Ashby's got a driveway in Charlotte also.
Yeah, Joe's got a driveway and he's looking at a double agent, so he's getting the old double nice from me. Literally, I wrote double nice.
So what does it cost to park in the driveway for the night? Can I noodle on that guitar for half an hour? Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Shit if I care.
Exactly. Great idea. Single suck community collaboration for a noise celebration. I like that. Did he say Wednesday show? Yes. So we do Zoom calls for the channel members and patrons twice a month. Saturday. We do a Saturday and a Wednesday. And so it'll be this Wednesday.
Well, how about that? Speaking of, Ben,
regulars are in the chat. Like Charles is there because he turns it on. Billy Baloney's usually there for at least some of it. Symmetry's always there. Hit Metalworks. John DeShane tunes in when he can. Who else comes in? Unbelievable on occasion. Paul McNary, who's conspicuous by his absence tonight. He's usually the first one in there.
Phil,
I've got the other style of double agent. Nice. They're both cool.
Scotty Fox says, thanks for having you. He's such a polite dude.
Glad to have you. Oh, yeah, Ferd's usually there. Cost of a driveway, he'll also supply some cold snacks.
Oh, well, it's a good chance we'll show up.
Cold snacks are always encouraged. Oh, yes, that's right. Guitar Man 45 is going to visit Motor City on Wednesday, so he may be late, but chances are he'll be showing something off.
Attaboy. Speaking of the last show that we did, which was Halloween, and it was excellent. If you have not watched it, it is on the Albus YouTube channel, so you can watch it if you have no idea what the hell we sound like. You can check it out. Yep. There's even a part where I acapello'd Belle Biv DeVoe for no freaking reason other than I was tuning the
and I'm going, wow, that's the best I've ever heard Aaron sing in his life.
Well, it's funny because a lot of people are like, I didn't know you could sing
it was perfectly in your key, right?
Sure.
And allowed you to have some range within your key, like to the full extent. It's like, we're literally going to start you off in the middle of your vocal range, Aaron, so you can go up or down as needed.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I went to go tune a guitar and I was like, shit, there's going to be silence. You don't want silence. So I literally just started singing. And next thing you know, the crowd was clapping and singing along. So it went over all right.
Oh, yeah. Bent Tom as well. He's usually showing. The Zoom call should be called, What Did Bo Get This Week? Yeah. Or how many strokes can we give Charles during one show?
I don't know.
Like, well,
kind of
Aaron,
like the,
you know,
kind of like how many
Charles
licks
is
to
a
the center of
wonderful
the love
guy.
button.
He's sitting there, and I'm just thinking, the guys were all showing off PRSs, and Bo reaches up and just snags on one and shows it off, and he says the 10 tops are all still in the cases because they're from the 90s. And I quickly, math. I went, hear that, Charles? Vintage 10 tops in several,
In the cases.
more than
in
one
the cases.
in the
Yeah.
cases. And I was just like, he's like, what? What? How? It's like, yeah, you buy this crap long enough, you end up with a few, boxes and cases and I don't know, shipping containers. I don't know.
I was gonna say, look behind you. You're proof
I have more gear since I stopped gigging.
than you did pre-gigging.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have twice the gear. No, well, 4 times the pedals, twice the guitars, and a couple more amps, maybe. I've been pretty good for amps. That VH2, where the hell is? Oh yeah, it's over there. That's the first amp I bought that last year. Never mind. All right, yeah, I did, but I sold one of the 2 that I bought last year. So
I love watching you communicate with yourself. It's my favorite.
Yeah. He's like, hey,
Can a
don't
fella
forget.
can a fella count his amps? 1, 2, that no, then there's this one, and then oh no, but we sold that one, so yeah. That's basically how that goes.
Yep. I have all the design departments and marketing. They're all talking with each other in there. It's a complete board meeting, and nobody ever takes a day off, apparently.
No, they don't.
Dustin, I am actually a pretty good neighbor. I'm not overly loud. And yeah, I pretty much have all the gear available to play with.
And if you can play drums, he'll invite you over.
If you play them well, we're starting a band.
Yeah.
Whether you want to or not, we're starting a band. I can't. I don't have the time. I've got the kids and the wife. I'm like, I'll take care of that. No, you won't.
Bring them over. I
Come with
don't
your
care.
family and have a chat. Dad has a chance to do something really cool in life, and we have to take this chance right now. Well, you don't want Dad to be uncool, right? You want to have a cool dad, right, kids? If kids on your side, then they can work on the wife. See you, Scott.
I was gonna say you're gonna need help with that side of things. But
So yeah,
kids,
Keith just loves it when I blind myself. And I did, Keith. You commented in the last video, I hope you didn't blind yourself. And I did, with the neck plate.
like a
The
good
problem
neighbor,
with
Ben
overhead,
Coombs is there.
direct overhead, bright light, and also, yeah, exactly, Zach. That's exactly what it is.
Long and
Symmetry
McQuaid
tries
board
to
meeting
pull
in
that.
Ben's head. It would be hilarious to mic up the inner thoughts of Ben Coombs.
Well, it happened there. What that one? We were on a Zoom call, and I picked up the manual for the Hydra, I think.
Okay.
And I'm reading it, and for some reason, zone out, not realizing I'm on a Zoom call.
Sounds about right for you.
The next thing I know, I'm like, it does that. Oh, it does that. Oh, I didn't know it did that. Well, mine doesn't do that. Because I'm reading it and commenting on it, and then I hear Charles giggling, and I realize basically their conversation, and they're all just watching me and read a manual, and they're like, that could be a video. That could be a video.
Without a doubt, my favorite video you've released in the last year was there's a pop that you tried in your driveway, and it was one that like you didn't want. Taft gave you it. He was like, hey, do you want a blah 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 blah, and you're like, no. And then you're like, but here it is. Oh, that video is hilarious.
Yeah. There's that, and then the day with all the wind, and the camera just. But I had already cracked the pop open, so I couldn't reshoot. So I'm like, well, that happened. Yeah. I caught it on the way down, but that should be If I could ever figure out how to put writing on the screen in a video, Aaron, my disclaimer would be: due to certain lifestyle choices, do not try this at home.
I'm gonna find out exactly which video that was that made me laugh so damn much. Because now I have to go back. It was so flippin' funny. I think it was before that. I think it was before you did any of the. What's a flavor you don't like?
I don't. It was the pineapples. I was not a fan of.
I wonder if
That's
it
for
was
sure.
vanilla Coke. No, you liked vanilla Coke, didn't you?
I was surprisingly interesting.
I feel like it was the name of somebody, and they kept saying the same thing like 3 different times on the
Oh,
bottle.
Herb Brew. Maybe. Mark wanted me to try that. Yeah, he had talked about it for months. Oh, you got to find Herb Brew, the Scottish beverage.
That's the one. Oh my God. That's that. I think that's it. Hold on.
Rico.
Oh my God. If this is the one, I'll know instantly because it was just full of like, holy shit.
See, now you can tell Dustin watches till the end with his comment.
1 second. I'm looking at this to see if it's it. Because that's how that works. Jesus Christ, you're like an ADD child.
Lifestyle choices.
So, today we're trying it. Oh, dang it. Brody?
I can hear that.
Yep. All right.
Hold on.
Today we're looking at.
This is it. Holy shit.
Well, feel free to post a link in the chat for those to watch that may have missed it.
Oh,
There's some strong man holding up the word brew. And it says original and best. Which tells me all, much like movie franchises, all the sequels failed.
just like movie sequels, all the sequels failed. Yeah, that one's hilarious. Brew. Oh my God.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Mark admits it, Aaron.
Whew. Yeah.
And yes, Dustin, that's usually how I end the videos. I've been Ben, and well, you've been you.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, there's some pretty funny soda. Like you'd think on the surface, like, okay, middle-aged man drinking a pop, who gives a shit? Not when it's Ben drinking the pop. It's freaking hilarious. He's blinded himself. He's gone into character. He's made fun of cars driving by. I mean, oh.
Say hello to the neighbors.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious.
I love it. Yeah, when the people are like looking at me like I got 3 heads, which I get it, you know. And that's why I'm like, what are you looking at? Never seen somebody make a video before? Or you never seen anyone talking to their phone before?
And the funny thing is I don't think, now that I'm thinking about that Brew one, that's not even the one I'm thinking of, because the one that I'm thinking of, you're on the side of the car. I'm just trying to think.
Well, no, you're thinking the one where Mark was trying to be all quiet.
I think so. He's like, hey, do you want to try this? And I'm like, no. Like, you didn't want to do it, but then you did it.
Oh, I don't remember.
And I'm trying to think what the hell you said. Like, on it kept saying, like, artificial and natural or something like that. And you're like, this is the 3rd time they've said that. So they really mean it. Like,
yeah. But they wouldn't say artificial what? It's just
exactly.
artificial. You're like, artificial what exactly? What am I about to put into my body?
If you're
so,
bored,
Unbelievable asked you, favorite bridge that's 8 bars.
Oh,
or
Jesus
16.
Fucking Christ.
What's up, Ryan?
How about the bridge that leads into the chorus of Everlong?
There we go.
And I wonder.
He's not well. I hope you're feeling better soon, Doug. Doug, Zoom call this Wednesday. I'm letting all members.
I don't know how many bars that is, but that would definitely probably be it.
Billy asked, will you do the pop tastings outdoors this winter? No. Though maybe. See now, again, Aaron, another reason to become a channel member or a patron is you become part of Ben's focus group, because we do spitball some ideas on there. And we did decide, like, I'm going to do one, like, when it's just snowing sideways.
I think that might be 8 bars.
Like, let's say February, when the snow is just sideways. You have those days in Illinois, I know.
Yep.
And I will shoot the video straight, as if the weather it might as well be 72 degrees outside and sunny, and I'll just we'll see until the weather gets to the point where I can't see, or we'll see.
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. I'm in drop D for everything, dog. Don't worry
Cool,
about
Josh.
that, Philip. Phil's like, you got to be in drop D. I'm like, dude, I'm in drop D for everything. That's all I play in.
Yeah, been on the driveway mid-January. Yeah. Maybe I'll have the snowblower just running in the background. So, speaking of which, you got Dad's car put away last week. Yep. Mark Taft came over to give me a hand. Didn't need it, but I figured, Aaron, my luck when it comes to shooting videos this year, that if I was to set up a camera, because I had said to the Zoom people, I say, hey, maybe I'll do one revival. I'll film firing up the car to get ready for winter. Something a little different. And then I realized, well, with the way my luck goes, as soon as I hit the record button in life, that everything goes sideways. I'd rather not. So I left the camera away, and I phoned a friend. I said, hey, Mark, come over, give me a hand, and get it on in case something happens. He's like, all right. Hello, sis. So literally, I pop the hood. We dump a battery in it. Hook it up. I fill up the carburetor with fuel. The floats. Those who know what I'm talking about. Fill up the bowl. That's what it was. A teaspoon of gasoline down the carburetor.
Okay.
Got in. Vroom, fired right up. I went, so Mark, what do you got planned for the next 3 hours? Because I was planning on yelling at this thing, cutting 3 knuckles and learning 4 new curse words. But that didn't happen. So then backed into the garage, and shoes all put away. We're like, oh. And, it's a nice day out. So we're like, cornhole.
How often do you guys actually run the car once it's like out of the garage?
That was the first time I ran it in a full year.
Oh, Jesus. So it literally went from in the garage, started it, moved it or into the driveway, turned it off, and didn't start it again until that day?
No, we pushed it out of the garage in the spring.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, I didn't even bother firing it up because it was pretty cramped in the garage at that time because we had moved the storage unit out and into the garage basically since I put it away. So, yeah, the idea was I pushed it out and I was going to fire it up and then possibly drive it somewhat this summer. But then I was like, I'd rather just not. So,
Ryan Hall, hello.
what's up, Ryan? Good to see you. Good to see my sister in here. Oh, Terry's got snow.
Oh, we're talking actual snow. I was like, Terry doesn't strike me as a cokehead, but okay.
2 inches. That's
deep.
A
lot of coke.
That's a lot of coke. Yeah, exactly, BC Rich. I'd look like the dad in The Maze in The Shining by the time I finished the pop tasting outside. I'd be like, wow, it's getting waterier with each day. It might be the sheer volume of snowflakes going inside the beverage.
I never noticed this, Doug. Ben, say the thing that you pushed the car out of.
The garage?
Garage? I don't know. It didn't sound overly Canadian.
Or garage?
I've heard people call it a garage, and I'm like, what the hell's wrong with that?
It's like you with your foyers. It's a foyer.
It's a foyer.
It's a silent R. When we're FaceTime, you're like, yeah, the foyer. I'm like, fucking Americans.
Hey, man, you say project instead of project.
Project or project.
You bust out project a lot. And then there's another one that you do.
I do that for you.
I love it.
I know you do.
Project, and there's one other one that you say. Oh, Surrey. Instead of SAR, you always say sir. Surrey. I'm sorry. I'm like, what? I do love it. Nobody's better than the English, though, dude. I've watched more in the 3 years of this pandemic-related mess. I've watched more British television shows on Netflix and the like that I've found myself using those words. The other day, I used the word chuffed. And somebody looked at me like I had lost my mind, and I was like, it means happy. And they were like, yeah, I know, but why the hell are you saying it? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I am proper chuffed. Gar Rage.
Well, yeah. Well, Michael Krause, it depends. Are you working on a project, or is it the Alan Parsons project? It's not the Alan Parsons project. Although I do a video on the Alan Parsons project just for Aaron. Today we're doing.
I love project.
A reaction to the Alan Parsons project.
I love it. I
suppose it's like status quo as opposed to status quo.
True. It is funny how dialects work in general, though. I mean, you can go in any country, and I'm sure it applies to Canada too, where the accents and the choice of words and everything are different, even though you're within the same country.
I don't know. It seems like Ontario West is kind of the same. As you go east, because then you got Quebec, there's a whole bunch of French, into New Brunswick, which is kind of 50-50, and then the coast. That's some bastardized version of the British.
Some bastardized version of the British.
Yeah.
Well, that's like, I mean, over in England, I mean, holy hell. You know, you can watch one channel and you'll understand something, and then somebody will end up.
Dude, I know there will be a certain character. I'm like, I might need subtitles for this.
Like,
and I'm like,
okay, I just rewatched all the Peaky Blinders. I love that show, but I rewatched all the seasons of that, and like the detective, I guess he's technically Irish, but holy shit, there was a couple of things where I was really glad I had subtitles on, because I was like, come again? I was like, I think that was a threat, but I have no idea what you just said. So then I backed it up and read it, and I was like, oh yeah. Yep. I don't like that guy.
Doug was really happy. I say early doors a lot, which is an English expression. I love British panel shows. Though 8 out of 10 cats is incredible.
Nice. I was really happy when Polly shot his ass.
Well, yeah. Josh says up in the mountains in Tennessee and Virginia is fucking subtitle worthy too. Well, you know, that's the interesting thing, because I guess growing up being a NASCAR fan, you know, especially the North Carolina accent and a bit of Virginia, a bit of Georgia. Like, I know that accent very well because I've heard it my whole life. But like, I've had people tune into Fruitcake Tony and they're like, I don't understand what he's saying. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, I have a hard time understanding him. I'm like, what part? And they're like, don't you find his accent a little thick? I'm like, no. And then I realized, wait, I've heard that accent my entire life. So, you know, it seems literally working tech support, Aaron. When I worked for a major computer company doing their tech support, we won't name the name, because I did their Canadian tech support, if a caller called in literally from Nova Scotia or Newfoundland, they would arrange a call back so I could talk to them, because people, I don't know what they're saying. I don't know. And I was like, I have family from there. I can handle it. So then you call them, you know, like Thunder and Jesus by what's the pooter up to, eh? And they're like, oh, Jesus by, she's just mussed right up, eh? You're like, okay, you know, and they're like, and my coworker's like, put that on speaker. They're like, that's not English. I'm like, it is.
Well, we played in the Appalachian Mountains, the band that I was in before that was signed, and we hopped on a gig, and it was like this podunk town. We were driving through, and we stopped to, I don't know, it was a music store, a record store or something. They were having a show that night, and they asked if we wanted to play, so we played. And I tell you what, after the show, everyone that came up to us, the only thing we knew was that they enjoyed it because they were buying shirts, but I couldn't tell you one thing they actually said to us. The whole time it was like, hey, y'all be great to baby. Sure, $10. I was like, whoa. That was some backward ass stuff out there. Whew.
Well, it's like Philip would get a kick out of it. I still remember one year, like, getting so immersed into the South, being down there for 2 weeks at a time. We're getting ready to leave to head back after 2 weeks down there, and we're emptying out the shitter in the trailer before we left because wait, you know. So, And I'm standing there talking with a security guy near the entrance. He's like, "Where are y'all heading to?" I'm like, "Oh, back to Canada, Ontario, Canada." He's like, "Oh, how long it take y'all to get on up there?" I'm like, "Well, we got a young'un with us this year, so it might take us a bit longer." I'm like, "Wow!" And immediately I was like, "Wow!" I just said "young'un" in a sentence, and it did not feel abnormal.
Yeah, well, I just saw where he said GEET. That's hillbilly. Jeep, you hungry? Jeep. It's like,
Yeah.
oh boy.
Jeep.
Yep.
What's up, Rob?
I've also found myself there's a couple of British terms that I've been finding myself using, like oh, that really throws the cat amongst the pigeons. I've used that one, and then I've used that's a whole nother kettle of fish, and I'm thinking like, how would these apply to me ever? They don't.
Oh, I
but
use
I'm
kettle of
using
fish.
them.
Kettle of fish I've used my whole life.
Not me. Now I'm using it. Cat amongst the pigeons and kettle of fish. Proper chuffed.
Yeah. You don't do? That's the other. Yeah. Don't do?
You want to? Yeah, there's a bunch of them, man. I mean,
Or leaving a
I think it's
message for
great.
my girlfriend in the infield. I'm going over there for a spell. Or no, I'm going over yonder. It won't be more than a spell.
What the
They're like,
hell?
okay.
Yonder, I
And-
know, but I would have never said to be gone for a spell.
Spells apparently about 45 minutes.
Oh, well. In your world, yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. And P-Search, I'm so using the cat among the pigeons.
It's amazing. It's a great saying if you stop and think about it.
Yeah, I was going to say, Rob, you probably hear a few fun ones in the greater Nashville area.
I mean, there's some. What the hell is that one?
Especially since that's the melting pot of this.
Mama Nems? Mama Nems. What the hell? Mama Names. My parents live in the Holler, Tennessee mountains. Yeah. Mama Names.
Yeah. Won't come? Jump to.
Sco. Sco is let's go,
Sco.
I think, right?
Yeah.
Sco is
let's go.
Okay. What the hell is Mama Nem? Is that a mountain? Is that what he's saying? Mountains? Mama Nems? I was like, that because that just sounds like a lack of education, not like a freaking changing of.
Oh, going to the store.
Jump to those I get. Mama Nems are going to the store. Yeah. What the hell?
Mom and them.
Oh, got it. Wow.
Mom and them are going to the store. Yeah, okay.
I like how I thought he was talking about a mountain.
See, now Ferd, born and raised in Ohio, but now in Texas, he's been around.
He knew instantly, Mom and them. Yep. That's great.
Yeah. This is the Stump a Canadian and apparently a northerner portion of the show. I almost called you a Yankee, but you're too far west.
How's you momming him? That's great. Oh, Quentin fucking James. You.
The Lord of Louisville himself. Hometown of Quentin James. Louisville, Kentucky. Home of Quentin James and Danny Sullivan. The two wildest drivers to ever come out of Louisville.
When I went to leave yesterday for work and there was a video of Quentin showing snow in Louisville, I said, this is going to be a bad day. And then I told everyone, I was like, I'm going to leave at 2:00. And then somebody said, it's starting to snow. And it was 1:45. So I punched out. I said, nope.
I almost took a photo outside of no snow to reply to Quentin. Snow.
Yeah. Boy. Yeah, I'm not a fan of snow at all.
Today's the first day this year, or in a long time, I haven't put the AC on.
That's saying something.
Yep. Oh, Josh, your parents live 20 minutes from Bristol? Nice. That's awesome.
I don't want to see Ben drive a car, but I would like to see him.
Speaking of Quentin, I wore the shirt and runner Quentin. Because, and Aaron, because if Aaron, much like Quentin, once he's home, no pants.
Oh, God, no. I have on long underwear right now.
There you go. So, yeah. Who needs pants?
That's because yesterday Quentin's video had snow, so I put on frickin' long underwear.
Now, see, if you were Quentin, you would have called Quentin to make sure he's okay since there's some snow on the ground.
No, I just assumed he was going to.
person Quentin is. He'll
I
call.
just assumed he was going to insulate himself in ketchup and just stay indoors.
Nice. Josh has driven down the drag strip at Bristol for the parade they do. Nice. My sister also dislikes pants.
Oh yeah, I hate pants.
Josh has some nice classic cars in his driveway. He jumped in on the last Zoom call, and we didn't know about Josh. You know, name in the chat seems like cool cat. You know, and he's like, "Hey,
that rhymes."
He unboxed. First of all, first thing he does is unboxes a Telecaster. So, okay,
nothing wrong there. Like nothing wrong there,
right?
Yeah.
Then he goes out to the shop, and he's got a couple hot rods in there, and I'm like, I like this guy. I also understand why this man is subscribed to my channel.
Makes perfect sense. Tellies and hot rods.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty much all the bases covered right there. Oh, you got to take 2 turns on the actual oval? Oh, I'm going to tell Doug, and he's going to be so fucking jealous. I would love to do that.
I just want to see you physically run around a racetrack.
Oh, dude, that doesn't happen, dude. That's never happened. Never will.
No, you subscribe to the same methodology I do. If somebody's got a gun, I'm not.
If you see me running, there's a valid reason.
If somebody's got a gun, I'm not even going to run because nobody wants to get shot in the back when they're out of breath. Now, a knife, I might take my chances that he's not going to be able to into my back.
I don't think I saw the Lincoln. Nice. Yeah. What was it? We were down at Charlotte one year, and they do a track walk, right? And the girlfriend's like, "Hey, let's do the track walk." And I looked at her and I said, "No." She's like, "Why wouldn't you want to do that? You're a big NASCAR fan. Why wouldn't you want to walk around the track?" I'm like, "It's 1.5 miles oval. It's super dark asphalt, and it's 95 degrees out." No. And once you get out there, Aaron, it's a wall all the way around. So once you're out there, you're committed. You know, that's it.
Yeah, I know. I've been to Chicago Motor Speedway several times. It's my nightmare.
You wouldn't want to walk a lap around there.
Nope.
Bad enough I had to walk up the banking. We found a place to cut across the track to get up into the stands one year. I walked up the 8-degree banking or whatever with a cooler on one arm and a camera bag on the other. Security guard almost peed himself laughing so hard watching me try to get up this fucking banking. I was fine at the bottom. By the top, I was covered in sweat and breathing hard and needed a nap. It was not pretty. Lincoln's at the buddy shop getting air ride. Nice. Thank you, Terry, for the links. Yes. Again, for those who haven't already, please check out Aaron's channel, Albus Band, on the YouTubes. Good music, good dudes.
There's always a little something. There's, live show vlogs.
So I was going to ask, is Alex just going to handle designing the shirts since he kind of does that?
No. This girl, Katie, that did the flyer for the Halloween show is doing the artwork for the EP, which is
no tie-dye shirts.
Nope.
Fine. Hey, no. Will Varela. Uncle Will.
Will Varela? What? Hey, my guy. How are you?
Ferd did a 50-mile charity bicycle ride on the track at Daytona. That's 20 laps around Daytona. Again, nope. Not even on a bicycle. That's a long way.
Maybe the bicycle was gasoline powered.
Like, you think Chicago's big, Aaron? Basically double it because Daytona's 2.5 miles. I went down there one year for the bike races, and when the motorcycles are on the backstretch, they're ants. I'm like, they all look the same. They all look the same. Will's been playing a lot of golf. Well, enjoy those golden years, Will.
Well, you do know that I am in charge of the inventory for the second largest golf retailer in the United States. Yeah. Little do I know, Will's like one of our top customers.
Aaron goes into work tomorrow, searches database. Well,
Yep.
there he is.
Like, holy shit, that Will Varela does order a lot of stuff.
He's apparently our platinum level member. Philip just order yourself an M BMW and come down to Greenville test track. Got Shannonville right on the other side of town. That's handy. Then we got Moseport an hour up there. But yeah, Greenville's a nice little test track. I know that track. You're hitting your mic again.
My bad. I just see somebody wrote 4 and then Will said, shh, I own it. What does he own?
Everything.
Oh, maybe he owns my company and I just didn't know it.
You could be working for Will.
If that's the case, Will, I need a raise.
Yeah. The man needs more gear.
Well, there's problems and then there's problems. Am I right or am I right?
I was going to say, that's all that happens. If you get a raise, that just means more gear.
Or toys for the kids or a combination of the two.
Yeah. Toys for you or toys for the kids. Either way, toys.
Seems to be, yeah.
All goes for... Well, we're the same way.
Who's
different?
Will owns the golf company. Well, he must have shelled out some dough because we did $40 million worth of business last year, Will. So you must have made a lot more money in your life than I'm aware of.
That's why he's living in Oyster Bay. He's hanging out with Billy Joel, owning a golf company. We know.
He's like, 40 million. I lost that this morning and didn't even care. It's like, oh, fair enough.
All right. Keith reports in the Floyd is back on Betty with the big brass block.
Betty with the big brass block. Say
For those that are tuning in late, Keith Campbell was installing a 42 mil big brass block from F-U-Tone.
On Betty. On Betty. Don't forget Betty.
In Betty.
Betty
which I believe is a stealth black Wolfgang. Or is it a shiny black Wolfgang? I assume it's black if it's Betty. I assume because when I bought a black guitar, I named it Betty because Black Betty. So
yeah, can you say that though? Betty with the big black block.
Betty with a big brass block.
Yeah, one.
Yeah, I couldn't do that more than once.
Yeah,
I was lucky to get it the first time.
Yeah, that's what I said. Will said 40
yes,
million.
You can, Zach. Yes, you can. You can hear the Speedway on Saturday nights at your house because you're at the west end of Trenton. And even though the track is about 9 miles away, yep, you can hear it, especially when the sprint cars are there. Especially.
Hey, Lawrence heard a Primus bass line too. That's pretty good. Les Claypool can play the hell out of the bass.
He can play all the notes.
Yeah, him and Flea took all of them. After, Jocko and all the rest of them gave him up, they took them.
Yes. I was right. Stealth.
Don't say good memory, though. That was luck. Let's be honest.
No, I got the little nuggets in there. I just got to remember the combination to the safe. They're in there.
Ben's brain is like that bag of microwavable popcorn.
I've got a childproof lock on the brain, and that's not always a good thing. Sometimes I just can't get access.
I agree with you, BC Rich. Absolutely agree with you. I'm just saying Flea plays lots of notes, too.
Oh, it's an L shape. Yeah, it would be. Did I do an L shape in mine? It's an L shape because the brass block is so big, Aaron. It goes underneath where the trem bar is.
Oh, geez.
Because that's wasted space otherwise.
Yeah. That was. If you're going to put a 42 mil in there, it makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Can I see what? Yeah, mine's the same way.
Yeah, but you got a baby block compared to his.
I don't know. That's oh yeah, I think that's a 38.
That's what I'm saying. You need another 5
million.
million.
10% more.
Hey, 10% matters. Just ask her.
That's what she said. That extra 10%.
Yeah. Oh boy.
My sister just threw up a little. Perfect.
Hey, why not?
Perfectly in tune.
She is.
Yeah. Floyd Rose, locked. Doesn't go out of tune.
Steve Vai can hold his like Nita Strauss and shit, like up like this. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I got a trem stop, so it's not going to... Wow.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I got the detuna for when I need to detuna.
Yeah, well, that's a good starting point. We'll start there. That's good.
With stock options. Because
I'm good with that.
Will doesn't need the company forever.
It'll keep me there for at least the next couple of years.
How come I got by with only 2 springs? Because these springs are stronger than stock springs. Because when I had 3 springs in it, I went, ooh, that is stiff.
That's what she said.
Yeah, so that's why. Because originally, and the trim stop was in the way, and then you'd have to do the angled springs, and I don't do the angled springs.
Well, I'm in.
Because I figured the trim stop should be as centered as possible. I don't know. I just guessed. I just laid it in there, Aaron, and just fucking drilled it in. I don't really remember. I used to run 4 red springs on my Ibanez. Wow.
Q says she prefers 3 strings. Strings, either way.
No, this thing, that's as stiff as it used to be with 3 stock springs.
I believe everyone is still making sexual jokes here, Ben.
They're trying.
I was like, and you are crushing them by just being oblivious to them.
Oh. Hey, Hitman Dwight Bailey.
Dwight Bailey? Haven't seen him in a while. How's he doing?
He said something about the older ones. Yeah, but make sure you tell Adam the correct type guitar you have. Oh, yeah, well, that's what I did. Because I went, Adam? He went, yes, Ben. I don't know. I'm shrugging. I'm not knowing. He says, well, I know everything. And I said, well, that's why I'm talking to you. And he says, what exactly are we doing? I said, this is what I got, and this is what I want to do. And originally, 3 springs. It was going to be red, white, and red, so it looked more Canadian. But then I went, oh, way too stiff. So now I have a random white noiseless spring sitting on above my workbench, along with a brass block and D-tuna from Scott Brockaway. So I need to get another Floyd guitar so I can use those parts.
I wouldn't put it past you.
Well,
I mean, you recently walked away with a VHT and a vintage.
Neither of which I thought I needed.
No.
Well, the amp I did. I needed an amp. I was going into a store looking for tuners. I bought a set of tuners. Apparently, I bought the rest of the guitar to go along with them. But I wanted tuners for my classical. That did not happen that day.
Will's going to ask a guitar question.
Okay.
So, what's your favorite guitar pedal so far this year? Plus, which
you need to pack a bowl before you smoke a bowl.
Yeah, normally that's how that works. Ben, what's your favorite pedal so far this year?
This year, I'll go with the Halo.
I was going to say the same. I don't own it, but I've played it, and I'd say the Halo. I think it's freaking awesome.
Yep. Yeah, because I don't think the Hydra even came out this year. I think the Hydra actually came out last year.
Yep. I almost thought about my live board has a Caverns is what's always on, reverb and delay, and I thought about, I could get rid of that and just use
all of these pedals and more available at tesiswitch.com. Use coupon code Canucks and save 15%.
What he said.
Because guess where I get all my Earthquaker and Keeley pedals, Aaron?
You get them there.
That's
Tesi
right.
Switch.
Damn straight.
In terms of which instruments are you wanting? Some form of T-style, some form of a Dunable, maybe another Revolta. I want to get back my old. I used to have a Guild S100 back in the day that I really liked, kind of SG looking. I love that damn thing. Should get that again. I don't know.
We've been talking about that for a few years now.
Yeah, that and the Dunable. Well, I had a checklist. I wanted another Reverend, another Chapman, a Revolta, a Dunable. What else was on the S100? That was the 5. And I've got the other. I got another Chapman. I got another Reverend. I got a Revolta. So a Dunable and an S100 are the Guild and the Dunable are probably the next 2. And then a T-type. I just don't know which T-type I want. Haven't decided.
Wouldn't mind a baritone. 12 string.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind either of those.
And a hollow body. I need an actual hollow body.
Terry, mine was a dark green. It almost looked black from far away, but it's dark green. I still have the gig bag for it.
Gary, guitar 1952, had a Guild S100 too. Loved it.
Yeah, they're cool guitars, man.
What Reverend?
Well, I have a Warhawk and I have a Double Agent. And the Double Agent was the one that I got. Because when I was at NAMM, I was debating. I was waiting for the Rosewood Fretboard Double Agent and Silver Frost to come out. And then I played the 25th anniversary Sensei Junior with just a single P90 and the Silver Frost. And I was like, shit, which one do I get? And then Guitar Center mislisted this for the price of the old ones. So I bought that while I was in California. I had it shipped from California to Illinois.
Nice.
Yeah, boy.
If there was really anything else, I checked off some boxes here. I got a classical this year, so I was happy about that.
Yeah, Rabia's got a baritone. That's another. If I was going to spend big money, because his baritone's like anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000. It's fully loaded. That's got everything you could dream of on it. A burl top.
If anything, I need to thin out some gear. God damn, I don't need 20 guitars. God, I do not need 20 guitars. What's up, Braxel?
Yeah, there was a minute there where I thought about moving on. Like, I've got the lawsuit era Hondo, and everyone keeps trying to buy it off me.
I own two basses. I don't play either one of them.
I play all 11 guitars in this room. I play. I don't play the other ones. Keep telling myself that one day I'm going to build. Like, I have that 67 Telly body in the garage, and I keep telling myself I'm going to get Lindy Fralin pickups, and I'm going to get a Wormuth neck, and I'm going to put it together. I've been saying that shit for 3 years. I haven't touched it.
I never play that Mockingbird anymore.
I mean, you could totally move 3 or 4 of those
had
guitars.
Equitone pickups in it, too.
You can move 3 or 4 guitars and not even realize they're gone.
3 anyways.
Because you could get rid of the Gretsch. You don't play the Gretsch anymore.
No, I only don't play it because it needs pickups.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it needs some TV Jones love.
I was going to say, that's the only thing is they make unbelievable guitars for not a lot of money except for the pickups. You have to get rid of them and get real TV Jones, and then those guitars come to life, and they're fantastic.
Yep. That's the first purchase of the new year. You know, if anything is... I don't know, does Rob carry pickups? Rob, you got a deal on TV Jones?
You find out. By the way, I hit my longest drive in golf last week, almost 700 yards. I hit it in the back of an open car. Best show ever. Best shot ever.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Jay says, wait, when you say you don't need 20 guitars, you need more guitars. Well, I need more different guitars. Like, I don't need 4 Les Pauls. Hey, Rob Baker. Rob has DiMarzio's. Does DiMarzio do
Filtertron? I don't think so.
Filtertron?
No. I mean, Lawler does really good Lawlertrons, but, I mean, still, you can't beat TV Jones.
Exactly.
For Filtertrons, anyways.
Yeah. Worth a shot.
Yeah, definitely worth a shot.
Still, I do like my Super Distortions, so good to know.
It looks like Will says he's whittled his collection down to 12.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Mr. Anderson asks, hey, Aaron, do you guys ever gig up here around Geneva or St. Charles, Illinois?
We haven't yet because, pandemic and such, but I'm in St. Charles, Illinois every other Friday to pick up my children.
So chances are it could happen.
Yeah,
he is local to the area.
Could happen very
That
easily.
is funny. That he's close.
Charles 75 loves his
I'm
TV
curious
Jones.
if I ever own more than 5 electrics. I have expensive tastes, though. It takes a while between guitars. It doesn't take long, Doug. Like you figure, just the trifecta, a Telly-shaped object, a Strat-taped object, and a Les Paul. shaped object or some family thereof. Like he's got a PRS that covers the Les Paul territory.
We got a Plano, Illinois, and a St. Charles. I know both of them quite well. I am literally, since you guys live in Illinois, I am literally where 80 and 55 meet in Shorewood. I could throw a rock and hit the highway. 55 south, I could definitely hit. 80, I'd probably have to walk a little bit.
A little bit. And we don't like to walk. So we drive anyways. We'd still drive. We drive to the first one. Who are we kidding? If I have to go further than I can throw a rock, I'm driving. What's up, Tim
Sounds
Thomas?
about right. Well, what do you think? Wrap it up in about 10 minutes?
Oh, shit. I totally didn't realize the time. I was going to wrap it up 20
I didn't
minutes
either.
ago.
I just looked up and went, holy hell.
Yeah, I know. Because, with your schedule, I usually try to keep it to 90 minutes, and here we are 1:45 in. So we'll go 5-10 more minutes. So see what people say here.
Yes, we have 2 Vita Bellas in Shorewood.
Okay, here we go. This is the geography portion of the show. Usually involves Canadian geography. Tonight, Northern Illinois.
Yeah, well, Will Varela said he got a proposition to last night. She told him to leave or she'd call the cops.
Well, that's a proposition.
Yeah, I mean, I assume he did the right thing and he left. Unless it was his house, in which case, call the cops. Yeah.
Oh, stripped a screw. Dang it, Keith. Let's see. Well, it's like that's where a parts guitar comes in handy. Much like a parts car, if you're redneck. If you're a fellow that likes to work on your own guitars, a parts guitar, or a donor guitar, as you will.
Yeah, that's a very popular term.
And that's how you end up with wall hangers.
Yep.
My sister. Will needs a new wife
like
Fish
a
needs
fish needs a bicycle.
Yeah. What's up, Eddie? Ben, Ontario's like close to Kamloops, right? Yeah, it's only a couple thousand miles.
Hello, Van Haskell. How are you?
Always good to see Eddie.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we got 47 people watching. Was 48. Someone just left.
Well, you know,
that
the
was
street.
Bill's future ex-wife that just dipped out. She's like,
that's probably who left. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you figure it says that we're back to 48 now. It says we started streaming 107 minutes ago.
Yes.
That's incredibly specific.
I see 108. Well, 148, 20, 21, 22. Anyways, yes. I don't know. I don't have much else to discuss.
Me neither. It's always fun to come on and shoot the shit with my bro, though.
We'll do it again soon, if not later. But, you know.
Yeah,
I always say I like to do it every 2 or 3 months, and look, sure enough, because we don't talk through Facebook Messenger ever. Since the last is the link, they literally. I'm like, well, obviously that's the last time he appeared on the show.
I was like, what's hilarious is when I went into Messenger, it's like link. I'm like, those are the times I've been on with Ben.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, we just FaceTime. We don't actually use Messenger.
Ooh, saddle. Oh.
Ooh, that hurts.
How do you clear a vape, not nicotine? You can clean it with alcohol, isopropyl alcohol.
Correct.
Zach said, I'm just about to leave anyway. Hippie's about to start in a couple minutes. Yeah, exactly. I want to check out Metalhead Hippie.
Yeah.
I'll be back tomorrow night with Trev and Terry with Canucks with Guitars, live Q&A. No NAS Canucks this week. Wednesday, soda pop tasting of some form. Hey, why don't we give them a tease? What is it? Content. Over here.
Well, Varela, I've cursed plenty of times. Not as much as maybe in the past, but plenty.
Really? Oh, is that what it is? Crush Fruit Punch.
I haven't had caffeine or alcohol, so I.
You know what's funny? I really don't remember what that tastes like. But then again, lifestyle choices, and we're at the end of a Sunday show, so yeah.
There's that. There's absolutely
hashtag
that.
Not always a memory. I don't know what I'm doing for a Friday video this week. I was thinking that today. Like, I might end up restringing the Gretsch because it's the most likely do. But I don't know.
Why don't you show off the VHT?
I'm not happy with how I sound in demos.
You've got an interface you could hook up and mic the thing.
Yeah, but then I got to record through my computer, and I don't do that.
Which you could do.
No, I could not.
He refuses to learn, folks.
No, then I got to get video editing software for my computer, which I don't have. I do everything on the phone, and then I move it to the computer for upload.
Well, you could still record on the phone.
No,
Don't
the
you
audio.
have one of? Don't you have one of the plug things for your phone? iRig or whatever the hell it is.
No. I used to have a Roland Go mixer, but I don't have that anymore. I need a new one of them. That'd be easy. That would bring a lot of ease into my life. Oh, maybe we should do a super chat marathon for one of them one Sunday, folks. We'll do a telethon for a Roland Go mixer.
Well, they've
Video
got a
shop
thing,
on iPhone. I just use iMovie on the iPhone, Michael.
I know they've got one of the companies just came out with a device that literally, like an actual interface that hooks up to your phone. Like maybe it's the Universal Audio 276.
Rob says the Joyo Momix. All right, let me just quickly do a Google search for that. I already forgot what the name is. Fucking stop pointing even Momix. I got Joyo. I'm like, Joyo what? Momix.
Too funny.
Oh yeah. Does that connect to an iPhone? That's the question.
You'll figure that out. I trust that you will.
I'll check it out. All right. Yeah. All right. Interface for phones now, Ben. Yeah, I know. I had one several years ago, Ryan, when I started the channel, and she gone. It's been lost, so it happens. And the wireless mics I have suck for recording any kind of music, so that's not going to work. So,
Will asked what company it is. It's Worldwide Golf Shops.
There you go.
They own a bajillion companies. So when you go on there, there's like 82 different stores, and then obviously anything you order online comes from my warehouse.
Michael Cross, do I need to mail you a cassette 4-track? Fuck, I'd have better luck with that.
I'm going to take a trip up.
This? And I'll just be mashing a cassette against the phone.
I'll take a trip up to Canada just to teach Ben how to get the audio onto his phone.
Wow. We'll figure something out.
At least I know I have a place to sleep.
That's true.
So
I have a spare room.
I've been me, and you've been Ben. Hold those doors open.
They've still been them.
Remember, karma's real. It's Doug's wife. Let that person in ahead of you. Unless, of course, that person wants to come in your house first to rob you. Then don't let them in ahead of you.
And don't litter.